Governor Tim Walz just brought the House down at a DNC event that took place in Minnesota. One of the best speeches I've seen him or really anyone give recently. Watch what went down here. Governor Walz says, "Don't buy the bait as the media tries to sow division in the Democratic Party when we have a literal fascist out there disappearing people off the streets and throwing them into concentration camps. That's part of the toolkit of fascism to use the corporate media that way." Here, play this clip. He's not mincing words. Let's play it.
But what we have to be clear about is don't take the bait. It boggles my damn mind that in the midst of a military takeover of our cities and the attempt to go into others, the flaunting of the rule of law, the cruelness and the unconstitutional nature of the way they're attacking our neighbors, that the press finds the need to talk about, oh, there's a division in the Democratic Party. There's a division in my damn house and we're still married and things are good. That's life. That's life. We are strong. We are strong because we challenge each other. We are strong because we're held accountable. We're strong because we believe that there's a place for everyone here. Think of how easy it would be to be a damn Republican. Oh, what should I wear today? This stupid freaking red hat. What should I say today? I don't know. Just make sure it's cruel. Who do we listen to? That guy. Oh, the felon in the White House? Yeah, listen to him and that will be fine.
Then Governor Walz talks about how we could have had former Vice President Kamala Harris as president right now, who would bring the country together. We'd be doing so well as a country. And he says that he was proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with her. And you compare her great leadership to Donald Trump's fat ankles. Here, play this clip.
The privilege of my lifetime was stand beside someone we know was the most qualified and would have been a fantastic president in a President Harris. And look, we wouldn't wake up every day to a bunch of shit on TV and a bunch of nonsense. We would wake up to an adult with compassion and dignity and vision and leadership doing the work, not a man-child crying about whatever's wrong with him. May his fat ankles find something today. Petty as hell.
I love it. He's not holding back there. Then you have Governor Walz say, look, I get in trouble sometimes for saying this, but I shouldn't. These people, this Trump regime, they're fascist. They're like the Nazis. That's who they are. I'm calling him out and I'm not mincing words. Watch what he says. Here, play this clip.
But I am willing to say each and every one of us are unified around the idea that this cruelty must end. This slow rolling attempt at undermining democracy, and I always get in trouble for it, and I'll continue to say it. I don't think we do any favors when we don't name it. These are fascist policies meant to take away our. That is what they are. So for all of you here, I welcome you to Minnesota. I'm grateful you're here. We know this can be, look, if democracy was easy, everyone would do it. And if democracy were easy, it would survive. But the natural order of things is to have people come along like this guy and to have folks want to be told what to do or to demonize someone else or find a scapegoat. That's kind of the way the natural order is, but we've risen above that. This is not the law of the jungle. This is the law of human decency, of human rights reigning first. And I will have to tell you, I saw a statistic came out today is Minnesota ranks the highest per capita for being a safe haven for transgender individuals in Minnesota. And can I just say, we can talk about economic growth and feeding children and growing the economy and creating jobs simultaneously with talking about everybody's human rights matters, and we shouldn't be demonizing that. You can do both. You can do both. So, this state's also the home to a few pretty good poets like Prince and Bob Dylan, who told us we would always provide and Minnesota always will provide shelter from the storm. But I also want to quote to the New Jersey folks here. They also got a pretty good poet. Today marks the 50th anniversary of the release of Born to Run. And as that poet said, it ain't no sin to be alive. And I think we're here. This room's born to run, running to a better future, a future that includes everyone, a future where our children are valued and lifted up, a future where immigrants are celebrated just like our grandparents and parents were, a future where we ask people to pay their fair share while we make life a little bit easier for others, and we find joy in the things that you find personally joyful. And I don't give a damn what your neighbor thinks about those things. Those are the things that we are here for. So to each of you, it's a privilege to be in this fight with you. It's a privilege to know that they are going to write about this time period. When he is pushed to the dustbin of history, when people use it as a cautionary tale to scare the shit out of their children of what could happen, this guy's out there. Those will be stories for the future. Our time right now is one foot in front of the other. Do the work that's in front of us. Win those 2 gubernatorial elections that are coming up here. We know we need Virginia and New Jersey. Get those won. Prepare for the midterms, 36 governor's races. Continue to push back every single day on this. Do not allow them to normalize federal troops in our cities. It is un-American and unconstitutional. So DNC, go lead the fight.
Did you see what Trump just said about wind energy?
Wind doesn't work, but we won't say that. It destroys everything. It looks terrible. It's a very expensive form of energy. And we're not doing wind. We're going back to fossil fuel.
So everything he just said is a lie. And Trump is actively hurting American businesses, ruining America's competitive edge in future-proof green technologies, all to give more money to the fossil fuel industry. Let me interrupt this report for just a minute to bring you up to speed on a story that has not received enough attention. Trump has halted construction on a nearly completed wind farm off Rhode Island's coast. This project was about 80% done. Paid for, almost fully ready to go. It was going to power up to 350,000 homes upon its completion next year, and Trump just shut down the project. Businesses are getting screwed, homeowners are getting screwed, and not to mention the jobs on this project he destroyed. Even Fox is calling out the Trump administration for this one. Listen to this interview with Trump's administrator for the Environmental Protection Agency, Lee Zeldin.
What's the problem with this wind farm in Rhode Island?
President Trump's been very consistent. He's not a fan of wind.
This project was apparently largely almost finished. You've got AI. You've got the electrification of everything around us. I mean, we just need power. I mean, why would you take any power offline?
Seriously? You're destroying American jobs and innovation and are holding the United States back because Trump is, quote, not a fan of wind? These are not serious people, but they are dangerous people. Our planet is on the line. Our lives are on the line. Our jobs are on the line. Our ability to have power as AI continues to draw more and more resources is on the line. And the Trump administration is shutting down projects that are already paid for just to help protect big oil and coal. They think we're not paying attention, so here's my ask to you. Let me and the world know what you think about this story in the comments to this video. I'm going to be reading all of them. All right, Ben, back to you.
And then Governor Walz talks about how proud he is of his state, of Minnesota, free school lunches, the best teachers in the country, the best education. He goes through all of these stats and he talks about the leadership of people like the late, great Speaker Emerita Hortman, who was murdered in a political assassination. And again, here, Walz does not hold back and say it's the type of rhetoric of Trump before and in the aftermath of the assassination that Minnesota's hardened, but not over it. But it's that type of rhetoric that causes political assassinations in Minnesota and elsewhere. Here, play this clip.
Home of Mondale and Humphrey and Wellstone and Klobuchar and Hortman and so many others who drive every day, strive to make this state better, each day a little bit better. And I have to tell you, I'm feeling it in this space. I think for all of you, our state experienced incredible trauma this summer with the murder of Melissa and Mark, the shooting of John Yvette, the heroism of the Hoffman's daughter, Hope, and so many stories that came out of it. The last time I was in this space was that night, which so many of us were here with Melissa, and we celebrated the Humphrey Mondale dinner, and we celebrated our accomplishments, and we looked to the future. And then shortly in the early morning hours, the tragedy came. A politically motivated assassination that the current president of the United States doesn't think it's worth his time to acknowledge, and a rhetoric from his followers that continues to perpetuate the climate that leads to these types of things. So I know we gather here in Minnesota. We have not moved on from it. It is not a new news cycle for us that we are forever changed by it, but we're a hardy people. We endure cold winters, normally hot summers. And we've seen these things happen. But I think the thing that I'm most proud of is that legacy that Melissa Hortman leaves was one about improving lives, as Ken said. It was about servant leadership. And today, part of our big debate in Minnesota, when you start school, it's considered sacrilegious to start school before the state fair is over. But some of our educators said it's good to start school and get them back in the classroom. So a lot of our kids are back in school today. And every single one of them who walked through the doors is eating free breakfast and free lunch every day. Every day. And every one of them had access to universal pre-K. Their families had access to the most generous child tax credit in the nation of the 50 states. Our teachers are the best qualified, and we invested historic amounts into public education. And by the way, come this January 1st, we will have the most generous paid family medical leave in the country for all those families. And don't forget, after we get past Labor Day, we can start school. But I just want to be very clear about this. Minnesota always has been and always will be a union state. We're union. And I am proud of this state like so many others.
Now, this is part of Governor Walz, I think, not holding back. Here's a recent speech that he gave recently. Watch this, a very strong speech where he's like, look, if y'all are happy about, what you're doing with the disastrous budget bill, why aren't you holding press conferences? Go to your districts, brag about it, spike the football if y'all are happy. Here, play this clip.
There's just an amazing thing amongst all this massive change, the biggest one in 60 years. There's one thing that's been missing. There's been no press conference or the people who support this to stand up and tell you why it's so good. What are the positives of this? Because if the argument is this was about saving money and reducing the national debt, it did not do that. It shifted the money. It took Minnesota's federal dollars, which we are one of a handful of states that are payer states that send more in than we get back, and they shifted it to tax cuts with 85% going to the top 4%. So it means that all of this disruption, all of this change added $3.4 trillion to the national debt, undermined our healthcare system, all the while shifting that. I would think if you vote for a bill like this, you would have been holding press conferences across the state, standing in front of you and saying, the governor's wrong. The CEO is wrong. The doctor is wrong. The numbers are wrong. Here's what it is. No one has done that because they cannot.
And of course, I reflect on the State of the State speech that he gave, the State of the State address, where he said, look, we're trying to run government here like it should be run. Government should not be some man baby at midnight rage posting social media. Play this clip.
This budget was not written to please everyone. It was written to bring everyone to the table. And when we get there, we're going to have disagreements, no doubt. My progressive friends might have wished we were cutting a little less. My conservative friends might wish we were cutting a little bit more. My wife wishes that I would take the pay raise that was offered, but I turn it down. But this is how government's supposed to work. It's not supposed to be one old man sitting in the Oval Office sending out middle of the night tweets that shot markets into free fall. It's not supposed to be a bunch of 20-somethings unelected showing up at federal agencies and firing everyone. It's not supposed to be chaos and destruction. It's supposed to be good people elected by their neighbors with differing opinions coming together to negotiate in good faith.
Then I had the opportunity to speak with Governor Walz recently. Here's what he told me. Play this clip.
Henry, thanks for the question. And look, you've got these three governors, myself. I'm partial towards governors. I'll just say that they're out there, but we need everybody on the field. We need everybody out there filling a lane and taking a message. Donald Trump understands this. He sucks up so much oxygen. He's the 800-pound gorilla in the room. And the debate that's happening right now, could 100 people defeat a gorilla? I'd like to find out with 100 of us to get out there and fill these lanes. Tell them what we're doing. Show them a difference. Show them the fight that people are ready to lead, and we need to be alongside of them.
And then Fox continues to attack him and his daughter, Hope Walz, where his daughter talks about feeding kids lunch, providing childcare, making public transportation accessible and free. And then Laura Ingraham on Fox is like, if these ideas were really popular, then Trump would never be president. We can't have these policies. Here, play this clip.
I know it might surprise some people, but feeding kids lunch, providing childcare, having accessible and functional public transportation, among many other things, are popular policies everywhere. They're popular everywhere.
You just lost about 100,000 brain cells by watching that soundbite. Sweetie, if they were popular everywhere, Trump would not be president.
Well, it's easy for you to say, Laura. You're a millionaire worth potentially $100 million plus. So you're okay with working class people getting screwed as long as you manipulate them and they give you their money. That's what you care about at Fox, let's face it. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Powerful speech by Governor Walz. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.